Howdy rowdy everyone, Lightning here. I'm here with another video for The Walking Dead. For The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 13, Chokepoint. This is going to be my review of the episode. So, I thought this was a very good episode. I like the different, I really like the pacing of it and how it kind of jumped back and forth between three different communities. Like you had... or not three different communities, but three different sides of the plot of this episode. Like we had, or what was it we saw first? We cut directly back to Daryl, Henry, Lydia, Connie, and Dog running away from the Whisperers camp after they just attacked it, and they're trying to figure out where to go. They argue about whether or not Lydia is going to go with them, and kind of arguing about where they should go, and then Connie leads them all off into another direction. So that's like the opening minutes, and then next we cut to the kingdom, where they got a letter from this group called the Highwaymen, and they're preparing for the fair. And I also really like the little Shiva statue they put at the kingdom. A nice little tribute to Shiva. Ooh, we miss you, Shiva. But so the kingdom got this letter from the Highwaymen. The Highwaymen jumped Jerry and Diane and took their stuff. So so the kingdom sets off to like negotiate with these Highwaymen, because they're like blocking the roads to the fair unless you pay like a toll, which the toll I guess would be like supplies, food, water, medicine, whatever. And then we cut to the hilltop portion of the section, where it's Tara, Magna, Yumiko, Kelly, and then a couple other hilltoppers like Earl, Tammy Rose, their new Whisperer baby. And I thought the Whisperer baby they adopted was a girl, but no, it's a boy. So I guess they're gonna name him Ken, just like their son Ken that died in the first episode of the season. Whatever. So you had Earl, Tammy Rose, the Whisperer baby. Then you had Cal and Oscar also from Hilltop. They're sort of like background characters. You don't hear them speak that often. You see them a lot, but you don't hear them speak that often. And then there were the Hilltop teens. I remember all their names. There's the really tall one with the baseball tee, Gage. Then you had the girl, Adeline. And then the guy with the tank top, Rodney. And all of a sudden these walkers are coming out of like the trees and bushes, and they all start fighting. Earl almost got bit, but luckily Tammy Rose saved him. And I thought it was kind of funny, because he was like, "Go Tammy, go!" And she was like, "Shut up, Earl." And I thought it was so funny, because she's like, "Hey, Hey, we just lost our son, and I damn sure not gonna lose you. Hell no." So I thought that was pretty cool. And then in the middle of the fight with those walkers, no Whisperers, the Highwaymen show up because the kingdom cut a deal with the Highwaymen after outnumbering the Highwaymen and basically holding them captive and negotiating with them. The kingdom decided to hire them for a job to keep the roads the kingdom clear for all the communities coming to the fair. And at first the Highwaymen leader, Ozzy, kind of laughed at it, but then when Carol, and this is probably the funniest thing of the entire episode, when Carol was like, "Have any of you seen a movie?" They're all like, "Seriously?" And that's what gets them to do it. It's like they really want to see that movie. So that's why they rode in to save Tara and her convoy from the walkers. They're not only like keeping the roads the kingdom clear, they're also escorts. So that was really cool to see. And let's see what they do with the Highwaymen. At first I thought the Highwaymen leader Ozzy might have been like an undercover Whisperer, but no, he's just a leader of this new group called the Highwaymen. Some people thinking that they're like discount saviors, which they kind of are, because they kind of like extort people for their supplies. But let's see how things turn out. I have high hopes for them to still be on our side in the end. Alright, next. Now that I got like the kingdom and the hilltop stuff out of the way, let's cut back to Daryl and co. So they go to this abandoned building that Connie used to hide with her group, with Magna, Yumiko, Kelly, Luke. And they have this like secret stash of supplies, like a first aid kit, protein bars, water, all of it. So it was pretty cool to see that, and that's the reason why Connie led them in that direction, because that's so they can use it as a choke point, because the staircases in that abandoned like apartment complex or hotel or whatever are blocked. The staircases are blocked, and so when Beta and his group of Whisperers came to attack them, they had to climb over stairs, and they couldn't have like the walkers come up with them. Like, walkers can't climb over. So it was basically a choke point to separate out the dead from the living. So it was a very smart tactic on Daryl and Connie's part to try and kill Beta and his group of Whisperers. And so Daryl goes in. He goes on the top floor. And then Henry, Connie, Lydia, and Dog stay on the floor beneath him where it's more dark. And I think Daryl locks Lydia into a closet because she says she can't kill her own people. So Daryl's like, fine, we'll put you in here. And he's like, and basically said like, well, you're just gonna get in the way if you are out here. So just stay in here for now and stay put. And he leaves Dog in there with her. And I don't know how many Whisperers there are, but I know that when Beta goes up to confront Daryl, he brings 2 other Whisperers with him. So it's Beta and the 2 Whisperers that are with him. Then there's like I think there might be like 4 or 5 Whisperers that go into the room that Henry, Connie, Lydia, and Dog are hiding in. And Henry knocks one out, but then another Whisperer comes with a bow and arrow. That is something very interesting we got to see. So the Whisperers not only have like knives and like machetes or swords, but they also have that kind of weapon. They also have those kinds of weapons like bow and arrows. And Henry almost got shot by one of those arrows, but luckily Connie saved him by getting that Whisperer in the back of the head with a slingshot. I don't know how that even worked. I guess she used like a shard of glass or something to kill that Whisperer, because, well, either that or a rock with very sharp edges, because I don't think a slingshot would work on a human being. It works on walkers if you're using rocks, but it had to be a rock with like very sharp edges to kill a human being. But that's just my take on that. And then Connie almost gets hit by a knife. Like, a Whisper throws her knife at Connie, but Connie sees like the sunshine reflect off of the blade of the knife, and she manages to duck. And she fights that Whisperer. Henry like runs back to help Connie, but he gets tackled. And then while Henry was fighting off that Whisperer, he got stabbed in the leg. He got stabbed in the leg by a spear that he made himself. I think Henry made that spear for Lydia so she could fight, but she couldn't do it. So he was like, okay, never mind then. So it was a little ironic that he got stabbed with his own spear that he made. But then right before that Whisperer could finish off Henry, Lydia breaks out of the closet with Dog, and Dog comes to Henry's rescue and tackles the Whisperer. And then Henry smacks the Whisperer in the face, killing him. And then Connie kills the Whisperer who was fighting her. And that last Whisperer she was fighting was very interesting because it had dreads on. So everyone was like, oh hey, it's Martha from Fear. She came back. She's in The Walking Dead. Or they thought, or she was sort of thought as the Michonne Whisperer because she had dreads. I like the Michonne Whisperer better. But Connie kills the Michonne Whisperer by stabbing her, or I think she like trips her over. She makes the Whisperer trip over a filing cabinet and then stabs her in the back, killing her. And then Lydia and Connie tend to Henry's injury. He got stabbed in the leg, which is very similar to his brother Benjamin, who got shot in the leg. I mean, obviously Benjamin died because where he got shot, he got shot in an area where there was an important artery where he bled out almost instantly. So Henry was very lucky, but he did suffer a leg injury just like his brother Benjamin. So that was a nice little throwback right there. Alright, cutting back to Daryl fighting Beta. So Daryl, like, when Beta barges into the room, he comes in with a door ready to block the arrow, which was smart, very smart. And it's basically like a maze, something out of a horror movie. I thought it was really well done. And I think my favorite kill was when Daryl had an axe and one Whisper was getting ready to like pull down the sheet to find Daryl, and Daryl swings the axe and nails that Whisper right in the chest through the tarp. That one hurt because it's like, oh. And then another really cool was he snuck up behind a Whisperer, used his own knife against him. The Whisperer was like, no, no, and then slit his throat. Thought that was really cool. And then right after that, Beta comes barging through some drywall, picks up Daryl, slams him up against the wall, and asks Daryl, like, where is she? Where is Lydia? He and Daryl fight. They both get their knives and start swinging at each other. And Beta is just throwing Daryl around like a rag doll. So Daryl's basically losing the fight. And then Daryl stabs Beta with this little switchblade knife. Doesn't really do anything. Beta just smacks him through the drywall and then barges in through the drywall to try and find Daryl, and he all with the knife stuck in his chest, and he just rips it out like it was nothing. Now, does that mean that Beta has like some sort of armor on that is protecting him? I don't know. But or it could either be that or Beta has a high threshold for pain. Because if he has a high threshold for pain, then I want to be like him because my threshold for pain is very low. Like if I just barely stub my toe, it's the end of the world for me. So I wish I had Beta's threshold of pain. That would definitely be useful. And the fight between Daryl and Beta basically ends with Daryl pushing Beta down an elevator shaft, and already I knew that Beta was not going to be dead. Beta is an iconic character from the comics, and also this is Beta's second episode. They're not going to kill him off just like that. You got to utilize him more. So, and it was also clearly obvious that Beta did not die at the end. I mean, he was pretty badly injured. Like, there was blood coming out of him. Out of his mouth, particularly. And he looked angry, like he's gonna get Daryl next time. So I guess you could say Daryl won that fight, but to be honest, Daryl only won that fight because he had this building as an advantage. If this fight had happened in an open field, Daryl probably would have lost. But since he had like this maze, like area to help him, he was able to strategically win. Whereas if this was in an open field, Beta would win, because he's just way too big. Almost no one can beat Beta in a one-on-one fight unless you were to do something like push him down an elevator shaft. But so, that's pretty much it for my review of this episode. Again, I thought it was another really good, solid episode. Almost every episode of Season 9 has been really solid so far. Like, I love this season. It's probably going to be my favorite season of The Walking Dead. So, I really like it. And I'm kind of I'm a little disappointed that there's only a couple episodes left, but you know what? There's a whole new season coming in Season 10 with the Whisper War. Woohoo! Alright, but that's pretty much it for my review of The Walking Dead's Season 9, Episode 13, Chokepoint. So, anyway guys, this is Light T75 or LT75 signing off. I will see you for my next video, which is going to be my predictions for tonight's episode, episode 14. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.